Minasan, welcome to the Manga Sensei Channel, where every single day, 365 days a year, I'll be breaking down the world's best language, Japanese. Now, you may know me from my podcast, the Learn Japanese with Manga Sensei podcast, where I talk about grammar every single day. Here, I'll be expanding that to not only talking about grammar on my podcast, but here I'll be teaching kanji, the Japanese symbols or the Chinese symbols. Really, it comes from China, but the Japanese have adopted them, and how we use them in Japanese. This is going to be a fun series as I talk about the different reading styles, as well as I talk about the meanings behind every single kanji every single day. The first kanji we're going to learn is actually the very most basic kanji. The first kanji in the JLPT, or the Japanese Language Proficiency Test, level 5, which is the most basic level, as this is the most basic kanji, meaning 1. As in the number one or one person or one anything. This extremely basic kanji, like all kanji, however, have two individual readings, and we're going to talk about those today. The first type of reading is called a on reading. The on reading heralds originally from the Chinese reading and is usually how it's read when you are doing something like a kanji combined with another kanji. That's called a jukugo. Moreover, these readings are usually going to be written in katakana. Now, if you are not familiar with katakana, please go to my website, manga-sensei.com. It will be down below in the show notes, and you can download a free PDF on my 30-day challenge, day 2, and hiragana for day 1. Now, for all means and purposes, I'll be using hiragana and katakana so you can see how everything is written down, and so you learn those as well. The next type is the kun reading. The kun reading is the reading that's usually given to a kanji when it's by itself. Now, there are exceptions to this rule, and we'll talk about those exceptions as this video series continues on. However, if you see a hiragana following it, like you see the small tsu down below, then you'll know that's the kun reading most of the time. Now let's jump into some etymology. Where does this symbol come from? This symbol comes from simply the number 1. The simple 1/ drawn from left to right horizontally always means 1. And as you'll see, it's in many other kanji, but it can also be simply written by a stroke, a single stroke, as this kanji, all kanji were originally written down. And so we'll have to understand a little bit of how they're written to be able to understand how they work. But see, this is the baseline, the very simple start. Now, the on reading again is ichi or itsu, and the kun reading is hito, often read as hitotsu. Now, when understanding this, there are some common words that go along with this. I'm going to use these example words simply because I believe they represent the different readings that this kanji has. Let's look at the first one. The first one is a single item, hitotsu. As you notice, hito is in the kanji reading, the kanji stem as we call it, and the tsu is following afterwards. That's how we know to use the kun reading. Now, hitotsu is a single item. For example, if I went to the store and I asked for 1 mochi, I would just say, hitotsu onegai shimasu. Just 1, please. Now, down below it, you see ichiban. Ichiban is the reading for first, as in like first place or the number 1 or the most of something. Now, as you see, this is written in katakana, not hiragana. That's because I'm using the on readings, and I want to represent that by using it as the foreign script identifier, as it's usually used in Japanese script anyway. Down below that, you say kinitsu. Now, itsu and ichi are the two individual readings, but how do you know which one to use when? That's simply going to come through practice, and that's what this video channel is really going to be exploring as we delve deeper into more complex kanji. But for all intents and purposes, ichi is the safest bet, as it's in majority of the readings, or itsu. Now, when learning each of these 3 different words, it's important to know that there are going to be other words that use this kanji. An example of this would be hitori, which is the symbol for 1 and a person. However, when we learn that symbol, we'll start adding that and make this a little more complex as we build up our skill in kanji. Now, something that I like to do as I learn something is I like to come up with mnemonics. Now, I won't be using this for every single kanji, but I would like to use this to explain how mnemonics work. For example, ichigo. Ichigo is like a character, if you know Bleach. Let's say Ichigo is going to hit someone. So if I say Ichigo is going to hit someone, then I can put all 3 of the readings in one sentence. So if I can remember and imagine someone taking that stick across the screen, using it as a sword and hitting somebody, then I can remember Ichigo is going to hit someone. All of these hito instead of hit allow me to memorize in a funny out of the ordinary way. I find remembering funny things or things that are often inappropriate are good ways of helping you remember something. It's easy to remember curse words, but it's hard to remember certain words that you need to, order food. However, when we can combine these ideas using mnemonic systems, we can make this a little bit easier. With that, though, I am going to try to keep this fairly short. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel as I'll be bringing out kanji knowledge for you every single day, and usually the videos will be a little bit shorter than this, so they're a little more absorbable. With that, though, I will sign off, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, remember, after 10,000 mistakes, you become fluent. So, machigaimashou. Let's make mistakes. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, ja ne.